Los Angeles, a city familiar with adversity, has faced numerous wildfires over the years, each one leaving destruction in its wake. Yet, during one of these fiery disasters, an extraordinary and unsettling sight captured the attention of firefighters and residents alike. Reports surfaced of a strange humanoid black figure hovering above the flames, a shadowy silhouette seemingly defying the chaos below. Witness accounts, grainy footage, and speculative theories have turned this event into a modern mystery, sparking debates about what, if anything, the figure represents. The incident occurred during a particularly devastating wildfire season in Los Angeles. As firefighters battled the flames and residents evacuated their homes, some witnesses reported seeing a dark humanoid figure amidst the smoke and ash. Unlike anything associated with firefighting operations or wildlife, the figure appeared to be unnaturally still, suspended above the ground, seemingly impervious to the intense heat and chaotic winds. Several witnesses described the figure as tall and slender, with an elongated body and undefined features. Its presence was fleeting, vanishing from sight as quickly as it appeared, yet it left an indelible impression on those who saw it. Some accounts claimed the figure seemed to move with intent, almost as if observing the destruction from a safe vantage point. Others suggested that its shape blurred and wavered, as though it were a mirage born of the heat. The video, shared across social media platforms, shows a plume of smoke and fire dominating the landscape. For a brief moment, a humanoid shape appears in the frame, silhouetted against the flames. Its shape is indistinct, but its movements, or lack thereof, do not align with known animals or firefighting equipment. For many who saw the grainy footage of the humanoid black figure hovering above the Los Angeles wildfires, the first comparison that came to mind was to the Dementors from the Harry Potter series. These spectral, soul-sucking creatures from J.K. Rowling's fictional world are described as dark, hooded figures that float ominously in the air, feeding on fear and despair. The similarities between the shadowy figure in the video and these literary villains were uncanny, adding an eerie and fantastical dimension to an already unsettling phenomenon. The comparison to Dementors stemmed from the figure's distinctive silhouette and behavior. In the video, the humanoid shape appears elongated and cloaked in shadow, its edges blurring into the smoky background. Drones are often deployed during wildfires to gather data, and their shapes can appear unusual in certain lighting or environmental conditions. However, many find this explanation unsatisfactory. The figure's humanoid form and its apparent ability to remain unaffected by the heat have led some to speculate about otherworldly possibilities. Among the more imaginative theories is that the figure was an extraterrestrial observer, studying the wildfire as a natural phenomenon. Supporters of this theory point to the history of UFO sightings in California, particularly in areas near natural disasters. Wildfires are among the most destructive natural disasters, capable of consuming entire landscapes, destroying communities, and altering ecosystems. Yet, amid the chaos, reports of strange and unexplained phenomena have emerged, fueling curiosity and speculation. From blue cars that seemed untouched by flames during the Maui wildfires, to the mysterious appearance of strange laser-like beams in photographs taken during fires, these anomalies captivate the imagination and prompt questions about what we truly understand about the behavior of wildfires and their aftermath. The Maui wildfires of 2023 were among the most devastating in the island's history, leaving behind a trail of destruction that shocked the world. Entire neighborhoods were reduced to ash, and thousands of residents were displaced. However, amidst the devastation, something peculiar caught the attention of survivors and investigators. Blue-colored cars that appeared unscathed by the flames. Photographs from the affected areas showed charred landscapes with houses and vehicles burned to their frames, yet some blue cars remained untouched. This anomaly quickly became a topic of fascination and speculation. Scientists and fire experts provided plausible explanations, suggesting that the unique chemical composition of certain blue paints might reflect heat differently, protecting these vehicles from combustion. Others posited that the specific location of these cars shielded them from the most intense heat, as wildfires often create erratic wind and flame patterns. Despite these scientific theories, the blue car phenomenon also sparked some interesting theories, with some claiming it was evidence of targeted energy weapons or experimental fire suppression technology. Social media amplified these claims, creating a swirl of debate that further blurred the lines between fact and speculation. Equally puzzling are the reports and photographs of strange laser-like beams captured during wildfires in recent years. Images taken during some of the worst fire events, including those in California, show straight, bright beams of light appearing to intersect with the ground, sometimes coinciding with areas of intense fire damage. These photographs have sparked widespread intrigue, as they seem to depict phenomena far removed from the typical characteristics of a wildfire. Scientists and skeptics offer several potential explanations for these beams. Some suggest that they could be artifacts of photographic distortion or reflections caused by the combination of smoke, light, and camera sensors. Others propose that they are related to natural phenomena, such as lightning or refracted sunlight, which can create unusual optical effects when interacting with dense smoke and atmospheric particles. However, for many, these explanations fail to satisfy. The highly linear and concentrated appearance of the beams, combined with their apparent correlation to fire damage in some cases, has led to theories of deliberate intervention using directed energy weapons. According to military officials, these energy beams do exist, and they are called energy weapons, and they operate on the principle of concentrating electromagnetic energy and delivering it to a target. Unlike traditional kinetic weapons that rely on projectiles, this new weaponry emits focused beams of energy that can travel at the speed of light, enabling almost instantaneous target engagement. These energy weapons offer a range of applications across various domains, including military, space, and civilian sectors. In the military realm, these provide advantages such as precision targeting, reduced collateral damage, and a virtually unlimited ammunition supply, as they rely on energy sources like electricity rather than physical munitions. Social media has played a significant role in amplifying the mysteries surrounding wildfires. Platforms like YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter allow images and videos of strange phenomena to spread rapidly, often accompanied by speculative narratives. As firefighters have been tackling the Los Angeles wildfires, more than 150,000 people have been evacuated from Southern California, where wildfires are still raging over more than 27,000 acres. One of the fires is currently the most devastating in Los Angeles' history. More evacuation orders were issued Wednesday night when a new fire broke out in the Hollywood Hills. As the fires ravage Southern California, at least 5 people have been killed. Innumerable others have been injured, and over 1,000 buildings have been destroyed. While the Eaton fire has burned about 10,000 acres, the Palisades fire, which is currently the most devastating fire to hit Los Angeles, is blazing over 17,000 acres. 43 acres have been consumed by the Hollywood Sunset Fire. Tens of thousands of people, including over 60,000 in the Pacific Palisades neighborhood, have had to evacuate due to the flames. Power outage reports that around 450,000 individuals in the region are without power. In an age where technology and military advancements are rapidly progressing, it is not unusual for the public to catch glimpses of activities that remain shrouded in secrecy. One such instance occurred when an anonymous scientist reportedly posted a photograph of a laser beam striking the ground near a military base in the United States. The image, which was shared briefly on a personal website, depicted an intense, focused beam of light, unmistakably artificial in nature, piercing through the atmosphere and hitting the ground close to the base. However, shortly after the image went live, the website was mysteriously shut down, leaving the public with unanswered questions and fueling a wave of speculation about what was really happening near the base. This photograph has since ignited widespread debate about military activities and technological experiments that are being conducted behind closed doors. Some believe that the image is proof of advanced weapons testing, while others suggest that it might be evidence of extraterrestrial involvement or undisclosed research into new forms of energy. Although the scientist behind the photograph has remained anonymous, their brief moment of disclosure has opened the floodgates for researchers and enthusiasts to explore the possibility of a cover-up. The photograph in question showed what appeared to be a powerful laser beam shooting from an unknown source in the sky, descending with precision to the ground near a restricted military area. The beam was captured in sharp focus, clearly distinguishable from any natural light phenomenon. The intensity of the light, combined with the isolated location, immediately raised suspicions that this was not a conventional occurrence. Speculation about the source of the laser ranged from military weapons tests to satellite-based energy beams, or even something more otherworldly. What made the image particularly intriguing was the clarity with which it depicted the beam. Unlike many grainy or inconclusive images shared online, this photograph left little room for ambiguity. It showed a straight, controlled beam of light directed at the Earth. Viewers who saw the photograph before the website was taken down noted the beam's unnatural brightness and uniformity, which set it apart from anything normally seen in the sky. Moreover, the location of the photograph near a US military base added another layer of intrigue. Military installations, particularly those involved in cutting-edge research and weapons development, are often the subject of speculation and secrecy. The fact that the beam was captured in proximity to a military base led many to believe that the photograph had inadvertently captured a classified experiment or weapons test in progress. What happened after the image was posted added even more mystery to the situation. According to several sources, shortly after the anonymous scientist uploaded the photograph to their personal website, the site was abruptly shut down. Attempts to access the site yielded nothing, and there was no explanation given for its sudden disappearance. The scientist's identity has never been revealed, and no further attempts were made to re-upload the image or provide additional context, with many even going as far as saying that the individual in question who shared the image may have been harmed, adding that people who have come forward with similar evidence in the past have suddenly vanished for sharing similar photographs. This swift shutdown has only fueled speculation that the image captured something the public was not supposed to see. Some believe that the military or another government entity may have intervened to suppress the image and prevent further investigation. The speed with which the website was taken offline suggests that whatever was depicted in the photograph was sensitive enough to warrant immediate action. The photograph and its subsequent disappearance have given rise to a number of theories, ranging from advanced weapons testing to extraterrestrial involvement. Among the more grounded explanations is the idea that the laser beam was part of a directed energy weapons test. Directed energy weapons, which use focused energy in the form of lasers, microwaves, or particle beams to damage or incapacitate targets, have been the subject of research and development for years. The US military has long been rumored to be working on laser-based weapons capable of disabling enemy missiles, drones, or other targets from long distances. If the photograph did indeed capture such a test, the military's decision to shut down the website could be seen as an effort to prevent the public from gaining insight into classified weapons technology. Lasers have a number of potential military applications, from missile defense systems to high-powered weapons capable of targeting satellites or ground-based infrastructure. The United States and other countries have been working on these technologies for years, but much of the research is kept under wraps for national security reasons. Another theory proposes that the beam could be related to satellite-based energy transmission, a technology that would involve the use of space-based lasers to send energy to Earth. This concept, though still in its early stages, is being explored by scientists as a way to harness solar energy from space and transmit it back to Earth using lasers. If such an experiment were underway near a military base, it would make sense for the government to keep it secret until the technology is fully developed. However, for those more inclined toward the extraterrestrial hypothesis, the laser beam captured in the photograph could be evidence of something far more mysterious. There have been numerous reports over the years of strange lights and phenomena near military bases, leading some to believe that there may be a connection between UFO activity and military operations. In this context, the laser beam could be seen as either an alien technology or a response to extraterrestrial activity. While these ideas remain speculative, they persist in the imaginations of many who believe that we are not alone in the universe. One of the most perplexing aspects of this story is the silence of the anonymous scientist who posted the photograph. Despite the intense interest generated by the image, the individual has never come forward to provide more details or context. It is unclear whether this is due to fear of retaliation, a government warning, or simply a desire to remain out of the public eye. Whatever the reason, the scientist's decision to stay silent has only heightened the mystery surrounding the photograph. In the absence of further information, the public has been left to speculate and debate the significance of the laser beam. Online forums and social media platforms have become hotbeds of discussion, with users dissecting the few available details in an attempt to uncover the truth. Some believe that the scientist was pressured into taking down the website, while others think the shutdown was voluntary, perhaps out of fear or concern for personal safety. The possibility that the anonymous scientist's photograph captured the testing of a secret military weapon is one of the most compelling theories to emerge from this mysterious incident. Military organizations worldwide are known for conducting highly classified tests on advanced technologies, and the United States in particular has been a leader in the development of cutting-edge defense systems. The laser beam in the photograph, if real, could represent evidence of a directed energy weapon being tested, a technology that has long been the subject of both military research and public fascination. The fact that the photograph was reportedly taken near a military base strengthens this theory. Military installations are often shrouded in secrecy, particularly those involved in experimental weapons development, and it's possible that the beam was part of a covert weapons test that inadvertently became visible to someone outside the program. If this was indeed the case, the swift shutdown of the scientist's website could have been a deliberate action to prevent sensitive information from reaching the public. In recent years, directed energy weapons have become a key area of research for the US military. These weapons rely on focused energy, typically in the form of lasers, microwaves, or particle beams, to incapacitate or destroy targets. Unlike traditional kinetic weapons, such as bullets or missiles, these weapons offer several advantages, including the ability to hit targets at the speed of light, increased precision, and minimal collateral damage. Additionally, because they don't rely on physical ammunition, they can potentially be used repeatedly without the need for reloading. The United States has already made significant progress in the development of laser weapons, with several branches of the military experimenting with laser systems capable of targeting missiles, drones, aircraft, and even ground-based threats. For example, the US Navy has successfully tested laser systems mounted on ships, capable of disabling enemy drones and small boats. These systems are seen as a next-generation defense mechanism, offering the potential to protect military assets from increasingly sophisticated airborne threats. Given the advanced state of this research, it's entirely plausible that the laser beam captured in the photograph could have been part of a test for one of these weapons. Such tests are typically conducted in remote areas, far from the public eye, and often near military bases where security and secrecy can be maintained. If the beam seen in the photograph was a directed energy weapon in action, the test may have involved targeting a specific location on the ground, which could explain why the beam appeared to be striking the Earth in such a focused manner. One of the key questions surrounding the photograph is how the anonymous scientist managed to capture such a precise image of the laser beam. There are several possible explanations for how this might have occurred. It's possible that the scientist was conducting unrelated research, perhaps photographing atmospheric or weather phenomena, when the laser beam appeared in the frame. If the beam was part of a brief, high-intensity weapons test, it could have been visible only for a few moments, just long enough for the scientist to snap a picture. Given that the beam was reportedly near a military base, the test may have been unexpected, and the scientist could have been in the right place at the right time to capture the event. Another possibility is that the scientist was already aware of unusual activity near the base and was monitoring the area for signs of secret tests. Researchers, amateur and professional alike, often keep an eye on military bases known for testing new technologies. With the availability of advanced camera equipment and high-resolution satellite imagery, it's not impossible that the scientist had positioned themselves in a location where they could capture an image of any unusual activity. In this case, the laser beam may have been the result of careful observation over time. Some have speculated that the photograph might not have been taken from the ground at all, but rather from a remote device, such as a satellite or drone. If the scientist had access to such technology, they may have been able to capture the beam from above, offering a different perspective than what would be seen from the ground. The high altitude of a satellite or drone could allow for a clearer view of the beam as it descended to the Earth's surface, making the image even more striking. Military tests, especially those involving advanced technologies like directed energy weapons, are typically conducted under strict secrecy. The US military has a long history of conducting experiments that are classified at the highest levels, often taking place in isolated regions to avoid public exposure. Some of these tests have been declassified years or even decades later, but many remain shrouded in mystery. The sudden shutdown of the scientist's website shortly after the photograph was shared suggests that the image may have shown something the public was not meant to see. Government entities, particularly the military, have the authority to restrict or suppress information related to national security, and if the photograph did indeed capture a classified weapons test, it's likely that the military acted quickly to remove it from the public domain. The laser beam itself, if part of a weapons test, may have been targeted at a controlled area on the ground, either as part of a calibration process or to test the weapon's effectiveness against certain materials or structures. These tests are often carried out in remote areas to minimize the risk of accidents or exposure to civilians, but in this case, the beam may have inadvertently been visible to someone outside the testing program. If the scientist truly captured a secret military test, the implications are significant. The photograph could serve as evidence of ongoing military research into directed energy weapons or other cutting-edge technologies. The United States has long been at the forefront of such research, and while much of it is classified, occasional leaks or accidental disclosures, like the photograph in question, offer rare glimpses into what might be happening behind closed doors. The rapid shutdown of the website could also indicate that the military is actively trying to prevent public discussion or speculation about the test. Secrecy is often prioritized in defense programs to prevent adversaries from gaining insight into military capabilities or vulnerabilities. In this case, the photograph's release may have been seen as a threat to national security, leading to swift action to remove it from circulation. The story of the anonymous scientist who posted the photograph of a laser beam hitting the ground near a US military base brings to light a broader issue: the inherent dangers faced by those who attempt to expose classified information. Throughout history, whistleblowers who have come forward with sensitive or classified evidence have often faced serious repercussions. Whether the disclosure involves military technology, government secrets, or controversial programs, those who reveal such information risk their careers, freedom, and in some cases, their personal safety. While the scientist in this case chose to remain anonymous and has since gone silent, the swift shutdown of their website raises concerns about the lengths to which powerful institutions may go to suppress sensitive information. Over the years, several high-profile whistleblowers have come forward to reveal classified information, only to suffer retaliation, ranging from harassment and threats to imprisonment and even suspicious accidents. This reality raises an important question: what happens to those who dare to challenge the secrecy of powerful institutions by revealing the truth? Whistleblowers who expose government or military secrets often find themselves in precarious positions, as the information they reveal is usually classified under national security laws. While some whistleblowers have been hailed as heroes for their bravery, many face significant consequences, especially when the information they reveal involves advanced military technology or covert government programs. One of the most well-known whistleblowers is Edward Snowden, a former NSA contractor who leaked classified information about mass surveillance programs conducted by the US government. Although his revelations sparked widespread debate about privacy and government overreach, Snowden was forced to flee the country and seek asylum abroad. He remains in exile, unable to return to the United States without facing espionage charges that could result in a lengthy prison sentence. In these cases, whistleblowers became international figures, but the repercussions they faced were severe. Harassment, legal prosecution, and imprisonment are often used as tools to deter individuals from coming forward with classified evidence. For those who work within sensitive sectors like the military, intelligence, or defense, the risks are even higher due to the classified nature of their work. Revealing secrets in these fields can result not only in professional ruin, but also in life-threatening consequences. When it comes to revealing classified military technology, whistleblowers are often at even greater risk. The development of advanced weapons systems or covert military operations is typically shrouded in secrecy to protect national security. Those who work within these projects often sign non-disclosure agreements or are bound by laws that prohibit the sharing of classified information. Breaching these agreements can result in serious legal action, but in some cases, the consequences go beyond the legal system. Even more alarming, Other cases of whistleblowers who have experienced mysterious accidents or threats after coming forward with sensitive information. While the exact number of these cases is unknown due to the covert nature of such retaliation, there have been instances where whistleblowers involved in high-profile disclosures have died under suspicious circumstances. Some advocates believe that these incidents are the result of targeted intimidation designed to silence potential whistleblowers and prevent others from coming forward. In some cases, whistleblowers are subjected to harassment, threats, or accidents that raise questions about whether they are being targeted for their disclosures. While these situations are often difficult to prove definitively, they add to the atmosphere of fear surrounding whistleblowing.